Hi everybody, my name is Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
And we're the Yahoo and the Torah YouTube channel.
And we are going over the letters of Brother Shaul. And there is a lot of confusion about Brother Shaul. Why is there confusion about Brother Shaul, guys?
Well, he says a lot of things that people take out of context. He will say, will we continue on in sin? And people think they should continue on in sin.
Even though he says, heaven forbid.
Yeah, he says, of course not. We should not continue in sin. People say, well, let's go live like some pagans. When he says, don't live like the pagans, rather love your brother, and say, well, if we're loving our brother, we can live like pagans.
Yep. And so in the last Corinthians, the 1 Corinthians, so Timothy, 1 Timothy, Titus, and 1 Corinthians had extra Torah commands that violate Deuteronomy 4:2, where it says we should not add to or take away to the Torah. He adds to it. Things of this nature, like widows need to be 60 years old, and a whole bunch of things about deacons. There's just a bunch of laws and things that we have never heard of before. And we kind of thought he was done doing that, but in the end of 1 Corinthians, he actually did that again. And do you remember, what was that one about women?
Women should let women learn in silence.
Is that the same one?
Yeah.
Let women learn in silence. And so we have dogs that will bark and be nuisances, but there's nothing we can do with them because we have 10 of them, so there's a lot of nuisances. So we have gone through all of the letters of Brother Shaul. We are now in 2 Corinthians, and we are beginning, and we have, Jaden is reading out of the Hallelujah Scriptures. Caden is as well. Nicole is probably over there reading out the Amplified Bible, maybe. And we have the Sefer, which is a version of scriptures that we would definitely not recommend to anybody out there. It is completely full of issues and translation issues and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it is a mess. And so we are trying to help them by isolating them as well. So we're going to read this as a family between all of us, and let us begin. Is everyone good?
Yes.
Okay. Paul, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, by the will of Elohim, and Timotheus, our brother, unto the called out assembly of Elohim, which is at Corinth, with all the Kadeshim which are in all Acacia. Grace be to you, and peace from Elohim our Father, and from the Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach. Blessed be Elohim, even the Father of our Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach, the Father of mercies, and Elohim of all comfort. Okay, so we're to the very first thing. We have nothing strange, nothing odd in this at all so far, right?
So far, seems just like a greeting. Because remember, this is to the Corinthians. This isn't to us. And so he was talking to a certain people in a set time.
Yeah, you're like personal messages to someone that's not us.
This is like taking somebody's Telegram or WhatsApp messages and reading them, and without the other side of the conversation, and trying to figure out what in the world these people are trying to say, or why this guy would be saying things of their nature, right? This is the same thing. So verse 4, who comforts us in all our tribulation, that we may be able to comfort them which are in any trouble, by the comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of Elohim. For as the sufferings of Mashiach abound in us, so our consolation also abounds by Mashiach. Okay, and we're dealing with some dog stuff here, and we're getting it. Okay, 6. And whether we be afflicted, it is for your consolation and Yeshua. And that Yeshua means salvation. Okay, do you guys say Yeshua or
Mine
salvation?
says deliverance.
Deliverance, okay. Which is effectual in the enduring of the same sufferings, which we also suffer, or whether we be comforted, it is for your consolation and Yeshua. Salvation, so deliverance, right?
Yep.
What you guys have? Okay, 7. And our hope of you is steadfast, knowing that as ye are partakers of the sufferings, so shall ye be also of the consolation. For we would not, brethren, have you ignorant of our trouble which came to us in Asia, that we were pressed out of measure above strength, so much so that we despaired even of life. We despaired even of life. Does your guys say despair?
Yeah, so that we despaired even of life.
Okay, and then it has a colon. But we had the sentence of death in ourselves, that we should not trust in ourselves, but in Elohim, which raises the dead, who delivered us from so great a death, and does deliver, in whom we trust that he will yet deliver us. Ye also helping together by prayer for us, that for the gift bestowed upon us by the means of many persons, thanks may be given by many on our behalf. For our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and in purity, not with fleshly wisdom, but by the grace of Elohim, we have had our conversation in the world, and more abundantly to you, Ward. Did your guys say to you, Ward? Like King does.
Mine says toward you.
Towards you, yeah. to you, Ward. Okay.
I think they missed some stuff.
Now the king has the same stuff, so that's how they used to speak in like Old English. Okay, for we write none other things unto you than what ye read or acknowledge, and I trust ye shall acknowledge even to the end. As also ye have acknowledged us in part, that we are your rejoicing, even as ye also are ours in the day of Adonai Yahushua. And in this confidence I was minded to come unto you before, that ye might have a second benefit, and to pass by you into Macedonia, to come again out of Macedonia unto you, and of you to be brought on my way toward Yahud. When I therefore was thus minded, did I use lightness, or the things that I purpose? Do I purpose according to the flesh, that with me there should be yea, yea, or nay, and nay, nay? What is he saying with yea, yea, or nay, nay?
Yes, yes, and no, no.
What is he saying here?
Okay, I'm reading verse 17. Since I intended this, did I do it lightly, or what I planned, do I plan it according to the flesh, that with me there should be yes, yes, and no, no?
So what is he saying with yes, yes, and no, no?
He's saying he only spoke the truth. His yeses were meant yes, and his no meant no.
Where have we heard this yes, yes, no, no before?
From Yahushua.
Yeah, and we let your yeas be yea and your nays be nay. Okay, 18. But as Elohim is true, our word towards you was not yea and nay. For the Son of Elohim, Yahushua HaMashiach, who was preached among you by us, even by me, and Silonach, and Timotheus, was not yea and nay, but in him was yea. For all the promises of Elohim in him are yea, and in him amen, unto the glory of Elohim by us. And anyone have anything here? My dog's about to bark, and he's just being very bad.
It's just really a letter to someone saying how they're doing, asking how they're doing, saying that he has hope for them.
Should we have any of this in our scriptures?
No.
So far, no. I mean,
Does any of this apply to us?
This isn't for. I mean, we're not the Corinthians.
Unless you're in Corinth and you met Paul and he's helping you with your faith and your salvation and learning of the Torah. No, we are not. We're not Paul. We are not the people of Paul.
Right. Okay. Let's see. 20. You guys with me?
Yep,
Everyone here? We got dogs all around us. They're just doing what dogs do. 10 of them. For all the promises of Elohim in him are yea, and in him amen, and unto the glory of Elohim by us. Now he that which establishes us with you in Mashiach, and has anointed us, is Elohim, who has also sealed us and given the earnest of the Ruach in our hearts. Moreover, I call Elohim for a record upon my soul, and to spare you, that I came not as yet unto Corinth. Not for that we have dominion over your faith, but are helpers of your joy, for by faith ye stand. Okay.
Okay, it's just basically a letter to the Corinthians. Not much going on. He doesn't command them. He's basically just talking to them and seeing how they're doing and telling them what's going on with him.
Yep. All right, we have barking dog, growling dogs. All right, we're going to try to get to the next chapter here. Okay, everyone ready?
Yep.
Everyone has, there's just too many dogs and not enough people. Okay, but I determined this with myself, that I would not come again to you in heaviness. For if I make you sorry, who is he then that makes me glad? But the same which is made sorry by me. It's like Dr. Seuss.
So, okay, verse 1, it says, in the end, it's come to you again in sadness. And then when he says, sorry, it's sad, for I make you sad.
Right. All right, so we're going to pause this real quick and deal with our dogs. All right, sorry about that, guys. 3. And I wrote this same unto you, lest when I came I should have sorrow from them of whom I ought to rejoice, having confidence in you all, that my joy is joy of you all. For out of much affliction and anguish of heart I wrote unto you with many tears, not that ye should be grieved, but that ye should know, that ye might know the love which I have more abundantly unto you. But if any have caused grief, he has not grieved me, but in part that I may not overcharge you all. I don't know what he's meaning, overcharge you all. What's he say?
Don't be too harsh.
Not to put it too severely.
Yeah, don't be too harsh.
Okay. 6. Sufficient to such a man is this punishment, which was afflicted of many. So that contrariwise ye ought rather to forgive him and comfort him, lest perhaps such a one should be swallowed up with over much sorrow. Wherefore I beseech you, that ye would confirm your love toward him. For to this end also did I write, that I might know the proof of you, whether ye be obedient in all things. To whom ye forgive anything, I forgive also. For if I forgave anything, to whom I forgave it, for your sakes forgave I it in the person of Mashiach, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now we have this one labeled, I think, is this green? Is that green? Mm-hmm. Now I have this labeled in green because this is Bad Translations by Dr. Stephen Pidgeon and the Suffer Publishing Group, and why you should never, ever, ever spend your well-earned cash on this thing, because this is incorrect. Furthermore, when I came to Troas to preach Mashiach's Besorah, and a door was opened me of Yahuwah. Now that word is not Yahuwah. That is Adon. That is it's Lord. He's talking about Messiah Yahushua.
Like
he's not
Master Adonai, something like that.
He's not talking about Yah, which is the Father. 13. I had no rest in my Ruach, because I found not Titus my brother. But taking my leave of them, I went from thence into Macedonia. Now thanks be unto Elohim, which always causes us to triumph in Mashiach, and makes manifest the savor of his knowledge by us in every place. For we are unto Elohim a sweet savor of Mashiach, in them that are saved, and in them that perish. To the one we are the savor of death unto death, and to the other the savor of life unto life. And who is sufficient for these things? For we are not as many which corrupt the word of Elohim, but as of sincerity, but as of Elohim, in the sight of Elohim, speak we in Mashiach. Okay, that's hard to understand.
There's nothing to really learn out of this. He's just writing a letter to these people.
What does he mean here on 16? To the one we are the savor of death unto death.
We are the smell of death to death, and the other fragrance of life to life.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, because you do not have life if you do not have the Torah. Right. You have death. And so, yeah, you are either smelling like life or you're smelling like death. Okay, all right, 3. Do we begin again to comprehend commend ourselves? Excuse me. Do we begin again to commend ourselves, or need we, as some others, Sephrim of commendation to you, or Sephrim of commendation from you? Ye are all our Sephir written in our hearts, known and read of all men. Okay, what is your guys' say as that?
You are a letter, having been written in our hearts, known and read by all men.
Okay, and so Sephir is essentially letter.
Letter book.
Scriptures, things of that nature. Okay. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the Sephir of Mashiach ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Ruach of the living Elohim, not on sapphire stones, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust have we through Mashiach to Elohim ward. Did you guys say Elohim ward?
Toward Yahuwah through Mashiach.
Yeah, the ward. They do the / ward. Yeah, God ward. That's what they have in the King. Christ to God ward. Okay.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, to ward. 5. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything as of ourselves, but our sufficiency as of Elohim, who also has made us able ministers of the renewed covenant, not of the letter, but of the Ruach, for the letter kills, but the Ruach gives life. Okay, what does your guys' say there?
Who also made us competent as servants of a renewed covenant, not of the letter, but of the Ruach, for the letter kills, but the Ruach gives Kai.
So yours says renewed covenant?
Yeah.
So the King says New Testament, and he also says the ministers of the New Testament. The NIV says ministers of a new covenant. What do we know about the new or renewed covenant, gentlemen?
Well, there is no new covenant because it was just reinstated. It was
renewed
same covenant we've had since the beginning.
It has a
a little bonus to it now.
Yeah, big bonus. You don't have to slaughter animals.
Right. It's renewed because we now have a version where we don't have to kill animals, but we also have a true repentance. But we're supposed to be following the Torah as well.
Anyone want to give it a stab of what the renewed or nude covenant is? What is it?
It's when we turn. It's a new.
Where do you find this at?
Jeremiah.
And
Hebrews 8.
Hebrews 8. And what does it say?
He will make a new covenant with the house of Judah and the house of Yashrael.
And
I will call them my people, and then they will be and I will be their Elohim.
And
I don't know.
I will write my Torah up on their heart and up on their everything, right? That they don't have to. Basically, it says that we do not have to tell our neighbors or anything about Yah, because everybody will already know about Yah.
That'd be helpful.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be absolutely awesome. Okay, 7. But if the ministration of death, written and engraven in stones, was glorious, so that the children of Yashrael could not steadfastly behold the face of Moshe for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away, how shall not the ministration of the Ruach be rather glorious? For the ministration of condemnation be glory, much more does the ministration of righteousness exceed in glory. For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect, by glory of the glory that excels, by reason of the glory that excels. Wow, what is he saying? Does anyone have any idea?
For what was made esteemed had no esteem in this respect, in view of the esteem that excels.
Even NIV sees through that.
Yeah, and NIV is, for what was glorious has no glory now in comparison with the surpassing glory. And I think he's talking, I don't know, I think he's talking about the Mashiach, and I don't know exactly what he's saying, though.
What verse are you on?
That's a 10. 10. Okay, 11. For if that which is done away was glorious, much more that which remains is glorious. Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech, and not as Moshe, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Yashrael could not steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. I have this in green, so what do we have here?
Oh yeah, it was passed away because it shouldn't say abolished.
What do we have here? What does it should say?
Abolished.
It said, steadfastly look to the end of that which is abolished. What does your guys
Okay,
say?
so at 13 it says.
King says abolished.
Oh, the problem is the colon. That was the problem.
Yeah, but
It shouldn't connect
12 and
over.
13 should be connected. Having then such expectation, we use much boldness of speech, and not like Moshe, who put a veil over his face, so that the children of Israel should not look steadily at the end of what was passing away.
Yeah, and so this is what we're trying to find here, friends, is that people think that Brother Shaul disputed the Torah and that he doesn't keep the Torah because he's freed everybody from the Torah. And if that is the case, then that makes him your Elohim and a lowercase Elohim. And there's some issues here. 14. But their minds were blinded, for unto this day remains the same veil taken away in the reading of the ancient covenant, which veil is done away in Mashiach. Did you guys say, yep? So we had this colon. I don't know why I have that.
It said when the old covenant is being read, the same veil remains, not lifted because in Mashiach it is taken away.
Yeah, and the Christians will run with that and like, oh, it's abolished. There you go. It's all abolished. Okay, and the 16, if you guys look, I will point this out right now. It's not El Yahuwah. It is Messiah Yahushua.
Is add-on.
Yeah, the add-on, yeah. So that's another bad translation by Dr. Stephen Pigeon. 15, but even unto this day, when Moshe is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to Messiah Yahushua, the veil shall be taken away. Now, Yahuwah is that Ruach, and where the Ruach Yahuwah is, there is liberty. But we all, with open face beholding, as in glass, the glory of Yahuwah, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Ruach Yahuwah. Is that right? The Ruach Yahuwah?
From Yahuwah the Ruach.
Okay, from the Lord. You see, it says from the Lord. I think it's a bad translation right here, guys. Something. What did you guys say at 18?
18, and it says, oh, I'll read it all. And we all, as with unveiled face, we see as in a mirror the esteem of Yahuwah, are being transformed into the same likeness from esteem to esteem as from Yahuwah the Ruach.
Even as Ruach Yahuwah. That is right. Okay, so Spirit of the Lord. See, this is very confusing when these guys put like Spirit of the Lord and all lowercase. For those who do not know, lowercase Lord actually translates to Baal. So you want to be capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D. Okay, 4. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Elohim deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Elohim. But if our Besorah be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the El of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious Besorah of Mashiach, who is the image of Elohim, should shine unto them. Okay, what does your guys say?
Who is in the likeness of Elohim does not shine on them.
So this is interesting because it says, in whom the El of this world,
The
right?
lowercase God.
Yeah, and it's lowercase God in that, and it's also lowercase L right here. And so, that is not speaking about our most high Elohim, capital E, Yahuwah. Okay, 5. For if we preach not ourselves, but Mashiach Yahushua our Adonai, and ourselves your servants, for Yahushua's sake, for Elohim, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, has shined in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Elohim in the face of Yahushua HaMashiach. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Elohim, and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Always bearing about in the body of the dying of Adonai Yahushua, that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our body. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahushua's sake, that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. So then death works in us, but life in you. We having the same ruach of faith, according as it is written, I believed, and therefore have I spoken, we also believe, and therefore speak. Knowing that he which raised up Adonai Yahushua shall raise up us also by Yahushua, and shall present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of Elohim. Where's your guys say redound?
Thanksgiving overflow?
Overflow, yeah, redound. Okay. For which cause we faint not, but through our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, works for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. All right. Anyone have anything to add to this at all?
There's nothing really to add here. There's more letters, more stuff that doesn't apply to us.
Yeah. All right. I don't know where the spray bottles are for our dogs. Seems the kids have hold them captive. Okay. Cade, maybe you can go grab one out of your captivity, please. Okay, let's go. Chapter 5. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Elohim, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so be that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. Now he that has wrought us for the selfsame thing is Elohim, who also has given unto us the earnest of the Ruach. Okay, and here is more bad translations by Dr. Stephen Pidgeon, because this is not Yahuwah, this is Messiah Yahushua. Therefore we are always confident, knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from Messiah Yahushua, not Yah. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Now again, more bad translations of why you should never ever spend your money with the Sefer Publishing Group. We are confident, I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with Messiah Yahushua. That is, it should be the Lord, which is not Yahuwah. That is not who we're talking about. 9. Wherefore we labor that, whether present or absent, we may be accepted of him. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Mashiach, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he has done, whether it be good or bad. Knowing therefore the fear of Yahuwah, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto Elohim, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciences. For we commend not ourselves again unto you, but give you occasion to glory on our behalf, that ye may have somewhat to answer them which glory in appearance and not in heart. For whether we be beside ourselves, it is to Elohim, or whether we be sober, it is for your cause. For the love of Mashiach constrains us, because we thus judge that if one died for all, then we're all dead. And that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again. Wherefore henceforth know we no man after the flesh, yea, though we have known Mashiach after the flesh, yet now henceforth know we him no more. Okay, does anyone have a breakdown of this? Kate, are you even paying attention?
Yeah.
Okay, then break this down for me.
I just came back with the water bottle.
Okay, that's a bad excuse. You were sitting here. Okay, Jade, break this
so
down.
he basically saying that everything we do is for Messiah, whatever, or for Yahuwah. Whatever we do is basically for him. Whether we're sober, whether we're working, whether we're doing whatever, it should all be for Yahuwah. And it's talking about if Yehoshua died, then we've all died, but not since he died physically. We died kind of spiritually. We left our old selves behind and became part of the new people of Yahuwah.
All right, I'll take that. Okay, 17. Pay attention, Kate. Therefore, if any man be in Mashiach, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
That's kind of what I said.
Yep. And all things are of Elohim, who has reconciled us to himself by Yahushua HaMashiach, and has given to us the ministry of reconciliation. To wit, that Elohim was in Mashiach, reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their transgressions unto them, and has committed unto us the word of reconciliation. Okay, what does your guys say, Jade?
For this light momentary pressure is working for us far more exceeding and everlasting in weight of esteem. We are not looking on what is seen, but on what is not seen. For what is seen passes away, but what is not seen is everlasting.
What verse is that?
18.
Oh, you went to 18. Okay, it says, what about pressure?
Oh, yeah, I'm on the wrong chapter. My bad.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's right.
I just
Thank
read
you.
it.
Yeah, Cade, I told you weren't with us. Jade.
All right.
Now.
18, right?
Point has been proven. Okay, yes.
And all is from Yahuwah, who has restored us to favor with himself, through Yehoshua HaMashiach, and has given us the service of restoration to favor.
Right. Okay, I need to break the steering contest here. Okay, here we go. To wit, and so on 18 and 19, are these go together or not?
I believe so, because mine has a comma. I can read 19 if you want.
Mine's a semicolon as well. Okay, read 19.
That is, that Elohim was in Mashiach, restoring the world to his favor unto himself, not reckoning their trespasses to them, and has committed to us the world of restoration to favor.
Restoration to favor?
Restoration to favor.
Okay. All right, so let me read it just so I have read this. To wit, that Elohim was in Mashiach, reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their transgressions unto them, and has committed unto us the word of reconciliation. Now then, we are ambassadors for Mashiach, as through Elohim did beseech you by us. We pray you, in Mashiach's stead, be ye reconciled to Elohim. For he has made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of Elohim in him. Okay, did this say anywhere that the laws, statutes, and commands are gone? Have we seen this yet at all?
Nope.
No, he didn't even say anything about it. He just saying what they should be doing, how they should be living.
Yeah, and so this is really, I mean, this is not to us. So let's do one final verse on this, and we'll end on chapter. And we will end on this one here. So 2 Corinthians 6. We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of Elohim in vain. For he says, I have heard you in a time accepted, and in the day of Yeshua have I helped you. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of Yeshua. So everything that is in parentheses, my friends, is man-made doctrines. This was not in the actual scriptures. And so when you see things in parentheses, that is the translator's best guess at whatever it was trying to translate that.
And all these scriptures are in little dashes.
Or quotations.
You're in quotation, yeah. So that would be man-made doctrines as well. Okay. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of Elohim, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings, by pureness, by knowledge, by long-suffering, by kindness, by the Ruach HaKodesh, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of Elohim, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report, as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and behold, we live, as chastened and not killed, as sorrowful yet always rejoicing, as poor yet making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. Jaden, what does he say? What is this? 1 through 10.
So basically, he's
saying how we should be teaching. He's saying with love, with God's power. He's saying that's how we should be living, in cleanness and in patience, with unfeigned love, with untainted love, with full-on love, in the word of truth, right? With the power of Elohim.
Yeah, and we're supposed to do this all inside of every tragedy that comes across our lives, in all of this, in distress, imprisonments, tumults, labors, watchings, in long-suffering, and kindness. All of this stuff is how we are supposed to be showing the power of our Creator and the love of Messiah Yahushua, I think is what he's saying. All right. Are we on 11?
Yep.
O ye Corinthian, our mouth is open unto you, our heart is enlarged. Ye are not straitened in us, but ye are straitened in your own heart. Now for a recompense in the same, I speak as unto my children, be ye also enlarged. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness?
Would you put that under a command of Paul?
That's
I mean, it's a good advice, but would that go under something he commanded?
We are told not to be with the nations.
So
we are told not to. Go ahead, Jade.
So when it says righteousness, unrighteousness, yours, this is for what partnership have righteousness and lawlessness?
Yeah, and so this is you should not. We should know. I mean, just by keeping the Torah, I don't think this is anything new. I don't think he's saying anything.
Basically,
we are not supposed to go hang out with the Gentiles. We're not supposed to go hang out with the other nations. We're not supposed to make deals with them. We're not supposed to borrow money from them. We don't want to be doing anything with the other nations, and so that's what it is. If you are a woman and you take a man who's not a Torah keeper, you're going to have a hard time. Same for a man and a woman. If your woman doesn't keep the Torah, it's not going to be a great communion, right? And that's what he says. What communion has light with darkness? 15. And what concord has Yahushua HaMashiach with Belial? Or what part has he that believes with an infidel? And what agreements has the temple of Elohim with idols? For ye are the temple of the living Elohim, as Elohim has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, says Yahuwah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, says Yahuwah Zevot.
So it still seems he's following the Torah, because we're talking about unclean things, we're talking about important things.
Yep. Okay, it looks like my top thing is all broken. Eli, please stop doing that. Yeah, and so it looks like right here we have... it looks like my Bible on the top is broken. So anyway, this is not saying anything that he's going to... He says right there, touch not the unclean thing. What is the unclean thing?
Unclean thing is idols, is unclean foods.
Anything
that defiles yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think that does it for the first 6 chapters of this.
So far, so good?
Yeah, so far, so good. It
Sever.
has nothing to this or anything of the sort. And so it looks like it is pretty much over. So I guess we will call this good. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Shalom.